At this point, Fetterman's not scared. He's just embarrassed.
I know and I love people that voted for President Trump, but they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody to Hitler. And now people have forgotten. President Trump was in my state, was shot in the head. And if that would have, could you imagine where our nation would be if he was hit in the same way with Kirk?
Schumer and Hakeem both live in Brooklyn. The two leaders of the Democrat Party have no idea what's going on in the rest of the country. And the leader of the coup, she's out of Queens. The three most powerful Democrats are from New York City. The country's just not as crazy as they are.
I campaigned for thousands and thousands of miles across Pennsylvania for Vice President Harris. And it was going to be incredibly difficult. You could just feel the energy there. And I'm trying to explain to the party right now. It's like, this is why we lost. And this is where we need to be to continue to win.
All Democrats do is go from New York to D.C., New York to D.C., back and forth all week, all year. The only time they step foot in the rest of the country is every 4 years when there's a presidential campaign. They have no connection to America and never talk to the people who live here. And now they're trying to coup the one Democrat who does. Democrats are already gearing up to primary John Fetterman 4 years from now, and they can't even wait. They hate him. They're trying to take out the one guy in the party with common sense. He's a Democrat senator from a battleground state that Trump has won twice, maybe 3 times. And he's really popular, and they want him gone. They just went through this whole autopsy, and they said they had to reconnect with...
He said maybe 3 times. Woo! The man won 3 elections.
The working man, be tougher on crime and illegals, drop the trans stuff and stop talking like college professors. And the one guy who's been doing that, who won by doing that, they won at 86. The final straw for Fetterman was when he said he doesn't mind the big, beautiful ballroom because Trump's tasteful. Also eating dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Big no-no. The only way Democrats can go to Mar-a-Lago is on an FBI raid.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh boy, what's going on, family? I hope everybody that's tuned in right now that you are blessed, well, and healthy, and that you're having an amazing weekend, or whatever time you're watching this, that things are just going well for all you guys, man. I love y'all, man. One love, man. And I encourage you to continue to spread that love. One love, man. You know what times that we're living in right now. You know, we're living in the biggest history yet, some of the darkest times, the biggest corruption, you know, especially in this beautiful country, man. You know, old sweet America. You know, they got the no kings crap going on. You know, the hate America protest. You know, he wants to be king, dictator, threat to democracy, the big bad orange man. We must hate and fear him. He's the king. Oh. You know, the same gaslighting, fear mongering. You know, same with the fake news media. Same with Democrats repeating the exact same script. You know, but there's a reason why so many people are waking up to what's going on. And why so many people they done ran so many people out of the Democrat Party, you know. But y'all know John Fetterman has made some waves this past week, going viral. And even at that event they had live on television. And a lot of people loved it. A lot of Democrats loved it. And it even opened up a lot of Democrats' eyes, and people that oppose Trump, people that, you know, just hate Trump or against this administration. A lot of them are now speaking different. Especially with Trump after the hostages were freed. I mean, people are just, I'm seeing a lot of people not denying Trump's success now. And a lot of people are kind of with a different tone, you know. And we're seeing a lot of viral videos of people saying, you know, I didn't vote for Trump. Didn't like Trump. But I can't deny this. And you know, You know, I thought Trump was actually going to be so bad, but come to find out, he actually isn't. You know, so we're seeing a lot of videos like that. I know you guys have probably seen the exact same thing I'm seeing, you know, but there's a reason why, you know, you see where the polls are at now. Hey, you just can't deny it. Just like we made that video a couple days ago. You just can't deny it. They just can't deny it. And they're live, Democrats live on television, you know, praising President Trump. You know, and some with the still the same crap, but John Fetterman, Senator Hoodie, I like to call him, broke the internet and kept it real. And as you know, I told y'all, be ready. They're gonna try to do everything to get Fetterman out of there. I'm ready for the next anonymous hit piece. Remember last time they blamed his health. He wasn't this and that. You know, they were trying everything. You know, he's not fit for office. Well, just a couple months ago when he was praising President Trump. So y'all be ready for it. You know, but I wanted to get into this. Dems move to remove John Fetterman from the party. Wow. I couldn't wait to check this out. And the meme of the day is, for my next trick, I will get Democrats to defend John Bolton. And Trump got his arms out like, yeah. I tell you, the meme of the day, man, never disappoints. Let's go and get into this, man. Shout out to Hive Mind.
Solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, there it is. It's not exactly shocking, but I guess it's now official. The Democrat Party is officially turning on John Fetterman. At least that's what Axios is reporting. They just released a piece reporting that top Democrats are now plotting for his ousting, his removal. And of course, their main issue is they don't know how to, quote, handle his growing independence and refusal to bend the knee to party leadership. In other words, he's a genuine representative, and I don't mean a House representative, I just mean a representative of his constituents, his state, his country, his people. And so again, we get some more insight into how the Democrat Party works. The minute someone in their own ranks starts thinking for themselves, starts breaking with the dogma, the entire machine turns against them like a pack of frickin' wolves. Again, this is how the Democrat cult operates. The woke cult that's totally taken over the party. It's blind obedience or total exile. John Fetterman's now on the Democrat chopping block. And of course, you can imagine there's a lot of interesting things that we could talk about here. So let's go ahead and do that. We got some stuff to get into. So let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So first off, I want to focus on the concept of appreciation. You know, just think about it. John Fetterman, this is the guy who delivered a critical Senate victory for the Democrat Party in Pennsylvania. That was a seat that they had to win in 2022. And John Fetterman put everything on the line. He campaigned through health struggles, took the heat, fought off a worthy competitor in Dr. Oz. He basically kept Chuck Schumer's Senate majority alive and did it after undergoing a debilitating stroke. And now how does the Democrat Party repay him? By trying to shove him out the door the moment he stops parroting their pathetic talking points. And well, you could pretty much see exactly why this is happening. John Fetterman has broken ranks with the Democrats in the worst possible way by putting country over party. Yeah, kind of funny how that works, right? You got someone like Jay Jones who fantasizes killing his political opponent, and that's totally A-okay, oh, they'll stick by him to the end. And you've got John Fetterman, who's been simply voicing some of his disagreements with the current direction of the Democrat Party, and now they want to destroy him. Take a look at some of the things that he's been saying recently.
I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania. I know and I love people that voted for President Trump, but they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution and those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody to Hitler and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and political violence and doing all these kinds of things like Charlie Kirk. For me, all I could say is like, let people grieve. Give people the space. I'm not going to use that terrible thing and that passive assassination to make my argument and try to put out my views. We really got to turn the temperature down. And we can agree to disagree on these kinds of things. But right now,
that was so important to say in times. And I'm so glad this went viral. These are the things that need to be going viral, man. You know. And I'm glad it takes somebody on the other side to come out and just keep it, just keep it real, man. People in this country need to hear this, man. I'm serious, y'all. It's like I was telling, my family and friends the other day, man. We need to have a common ground, man. We put politics aside. Y'all politic everything. Y'all twist and spin everything. It was a disgrace what we seen take place last month. It was a disgrace, man, seeing that response. Seeing how low people really are, how evil people really are. It was a disgrace, man. And I still got a bad taste in my mouth from it. I do.
Shutting down the government. I just can't take it that. Shutting the government is really what the Democratic Party wants to do. And I follow country, then party. And it's the wrong thing for the country in a period of chaos. I refuse to vote to shut our government down. I absolutely would love to have... I would love to have a conversation about extending the tax credits for healthcare. Absolutely. But I would remind everybody, too, this was designed by the Democratic Party to expire at the end of the year. This is not something taken from by the Republicans. They were designed to expire. Now, let's have a conversation to extend it and not shut our government down. If you're thinking about winning the election, that's all going to come down to 7 or 8 states. That matters. And I would like to remind everybody, because we all know Trump ran the table, all of those kinds of states. And now you can't ever forget, these are the states that are going to determine who's going to be the next administration. A lot of the things, the extremism that people turned their back in 24, and that's how we kind of came up short. I campaigned for thousands of miles across Pennsylvania for Vice President Harris, and it was going to be incredibly difficult. You could just feel the energy there, and people really have connected there at a very fundamental level. And that's what I tried to explain to my party, and I'm trying to explain to the party right now. It's like, this is why we lost. And this is where we need to be to continue to win for these things. And there are parts of extreme things.
This party right now is saying, John, we don't give a damn. They're all fascists and Nazis and garbage and racists and they're destroying the country. The big bad orange man, he's a king. He wants to be king, a dictator. He's a threat to democracy. Our democracy's under attack, John. We don't give it, John. We don't. And we don't care if we don't know what a woman is, John, or what a man is. We need that dictator out of here. The democracy's under attack, John. We don't care if we have any common sense, John. We don't care.
Emerging clearly on those things, and that's why I refuse to follow that, even if that is going to cost me support in parts of the base.
How do Democrats win back white men like yourself?
I don't know. And truthfully, I'm not sure if that's possible, to be honest. I think that's been seriously eroding for a while. In some cases, in the conversations I've had, a lot of people, they don't even want to say it publicly, but they just feel like, the other side seems like it's like men's the problem, men are to blame. Or their masculinity is toxic, or unless you're able to conform to our very strict kinds of definition of what we think's appropriate, well then, hey, I'm going to find an alternative, and they've done that. That's absolutely true. And once we've kind of turned their back on that demographic, it's going to be difficult to rebuild and replace that with those voters, because I think that migration has been ongoing phenomenon for several years, and that was been in front and center, in part of the election in 24.
All he's been doing is calling out far-left hypocrisy. He's backed border security. He doesn't agree with the shutdown. He doesn't agree with calling all Trump supporters Nazis and racists. And apparently those are positions that the modern Democrat Party absolutely cannot tolerate. And why is that, you may ask? Well, very simply, because John Fetterman's independence exposes the rot in the Democrat Party. Basically, he's saying a lot of things that we've been saying, and that cannot be allowed. And once again, the hypocrisy is on full display. The party of diversity, yet again, has zero tolerance for diversity of thought. The moment you step out of line, you become a traitor. And now the party that rallied behind him when he was an important character, when they needed him to secure a Senate majority, well, they're ready to throw him in the damn dumpster. The moment you voice an opinion that in many ways is actually important, self-critical, looking at what your party's doing wrong and trying to move in the right direction, the moment you offer good advice in the Democrat Party, you're labeled as a traitor. Toe the line or we will destroy you. That's the message. That's what they did to Bernie Sanders. That's how they got him to fall in line. And once again, that's how the party runs, right? It's top down. It's authoritarian. Democrat leadership is terrified of authentic voices. Grassroots energy is smothered. Independent thought gets punished. And real, genuine representation for country and for the constituents that you represent, of course, that must be replaced with party scripts written by the consultants, the donors. Push the rhetoric, and that's it. We've seen this happen time and time again. The Democrat Party is a cult. Ask Tulsi Gabbard, ask RFK Jr., ask Kirsten Sinema, ask Joe Manchin, and now, of course, John Fetterman. Be a marionette for the puppet handlers, or you are done. And honestly, not only do I think it's disgusting and it's the wrong way to run a political movement, but I think more importantly, it's bad strategy. I mean, the reality is John Fetterman is a beast. And considering my political leanings, I think that's quite the compliment, but the reality is, this guy's been incredibly authentic. He's extremely popular in Pennsylvania. He's loved by Democrats, by independents, and even Republicans have respect for this man. Yep. He shows up, he talks straight, he's not afraid to say what's actually on his mind. And so the idea that the Democrats would now go to war against this man, it just seems stupid, honestly. I think John Fetterman could probably outperform a Democrat on the ticket running as an independent. And what happens if he decides to flip sides? What if he does go independent? What if he does announce that now he's joining the Republican Party? That'd be a nuclear bomb for the Democrats. Imagine the optics. Imagine the working class guy in the hoodie who's a straight shooter and tells it like it is. The man sitting in one of the most high-profile Senate seats in one of the most important states in the country. That guy walking out on the Democrat Party because he's sick of the lies and elitism. That would be devastating. Pennsylvania is a battleground state, and Democrats need it badly, and they're losing it slowly but surely. A Fetterman exit, even symbolically, I think would send a message across the board, across the Rust Belt, that the Democrat Party no longer represents regular people. What they're up to right now, I mean, it's frankly disgusting. I think it's disloyal, and it proves everything that we have said all along. The Democrat Party doesn't serve the people, they serve themselves. And Fetterman is doing something really rare here in politics. He's telling the truth. He's speaking like a human being. And so it begs the question, if Democrats are going to continuously destroy anybody in their party with a shred of authenticity, how can they ever build a future? How can you build a future if all you do is destroy the most authentic people in your party and anybody who builds grassroots energy? I mean, how are you supposed to find the next Obama? Now, of course, I'm not saying that Obama was great, but I'm saying the next Obama in the sense of the next charismatic leader who's going to actually lead your party to electoral success if all the rising stars in your party get crushed the moment they go off script. And kind of ironic coming from the party that keeps talking about saving democracy. Ooh, democracy this. We're fighting authoritarianism. Says the people who can't even tolerate free thought in their own ranks. They demand total submission, no charisma, no originality. Just a bunch of plastic, empty frickin' suits, mannequins. I'm not saying John Fetterman is presidential material. I don't think that's his place. I think he's more suited for the job of a senator. But we've seen it time and time again. Anytime somebody wants to break the mold a little bit, introduce actual reform, change to the Democrat Party, new ideas, the entire apparatus, like a bunch of white blood cells, start attacking that person as if they're a virus. And it seems all in preservation of the status quo, all in preservation of what is currently not working for them, all to preserve the establishment so they could keep running the same unpopular candidates over and over again. Here we go again. Gavin Newsom. Ooh, Pete Buttigieg. Ooh, Kamala Harris. Talent cannot rise in this party. Talent is stifled, drowned, deprived of oxygen. We see it over and over and over again, and I just don't know how this ends well for the Democrat Party. Anyways, that's pretty much...
I don't know how we even mention Gavin. I'm still sick to my stomach and just laugh when they mention Gavin Newsom for being any kind of presidential candidate. I'm serious, man. Or that Illinois governor, Pritzker. Are we serious? Just look at their state. I mean, man, but hey, you just can't make this up, man. What do y'all think, man, of Senator John Fetterman, man? Leave a beautiful comment down below. I love y'all. God bless you all and your family. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, you guys.